Actions over words. I remember I was dating this guy, and whenever I would get upset, get angry, whenever things wasn't going my way, almost like a child, right, having a tantrum. I remember I would say some of the meanest and cruelest things to him. And one of the things he always used to say to me, right, he would say, "You can't take that back. What you have said, you said it because you meant it. And you can't take words back." Today's video is pretty much about paying attention or observing people's actions as opposed of their words. And this video came about from my youngest daughter. So last night, my youngest daughter, when she wasn't getting her way, she started having a hissy fit. And I had told her, I said, "You know what, you going out there, you're not coming back in my room until you calm down," right? And so later on, I started working out. Me and my youngest son, we started working out, started doing the exercise. And then she wanted to come back in the room. So she started knocking, "Open up the door, let me in," okay? And at first I was like, "No, you're not, sticking to my word. You're not coming in my room," right? And I don't beat my children, okay? Because some of you guys probably like, "Well, I would have just tore her up," all right? Right? I don't beat my children. The reason being is because I know how it felt when I got whoopings or beatings, okay? That's one. And then two, beatings do not cure, okay? It just makes the child do stuff behind your back, but it necessarily do not prevent it, okay? Prevent or stop. They may stop doing it in front of your face, but, it necessarily don't stop the behavior. Sometimes they just become sneakier, right? So my daughter, after a while, I said, all right, she could come back in the room. So I let her come back in the room. We started, all three of us started working out together, exercising and stuff. And then this morning I woke her up because I needed to wash her hair. And I sort of should have probably did it last night. But I said, you know what? It is what it is, okay? So I put her in the tub, washed her hair and stuff like that. And she was extremely good. Like, very, very good. She cried a little, but well expected because it was early in the morning. And so she did such a good job. So I told her, I said, later on, after I did her hair and everything like that, I said, "I'm going to give you guys money for the book fair today." Her and her brother, my youngest son. But last night I told her, I said, "Since you acted out like that, I'm not giving you money for the book fair." I think sometimes, and then I went off my word today because she did such an amazing job. I said, "You know what? I'm going to give you the money for the book fair," right? I think sometimes, and it's really the programming, right? Where as though we say, well, because the person did this, and although they did whatever they did, whether they cursed me out or, disrespected, I allowed them to disrespect me, and because they brought me roses or brought me flowers or gave me money, I forgive them. Right now, I am really, really, to the point where as though it's like, Dina, it doesn't matter if they did a better job or they did, a good job in the first place. They could have did that before. They could have did that prior, okay? They could have did that prior, but they have chosen to make certain choices. And so with certain choices, it comes with consequences. And that's even in nature, okay? That's even universal law. We reap what we sow. And I think a lot of times we keep on reaping certain things that we say we do not want because of you just easily forgive, right? Now, I do talk about forgiveness, but it needs to be some type of consequences. It needs to be some type of boundaries. So next time they can choose according how they will treat you. Okay. That's almost like this. Okay. Someone who may have, I'm going to give you guys a prime example. My youngest children father had, and I had did a video on this the other day about me asking him, was he dating somebody else? Not so much, as far as him dating, but I said, the next person you date, I feel it would be appropriate if I meet the young lady, right? Especially she's going to be around my children, and vice versa. When I start dating and I get serious about the one particular person, I will make sure before that guy is introduced to our children, I will allow him to meet you first. So I thought we had an understanding, but evidently we didn't. Okay, it is that sometimes in life you just and don't allow it to change you. Right? Because I know sometimes we'll say, well, when I date, he ain't let me meet her, so I ain't gonna let him meet old boy. It's really not about that. It's really about the best interest of our children, right? And so I had sent my youngest children's father a message just basically saying, oh, you dating, if I could meet the young lady, whatever it is like that. And he went off. Like, he went off, and I was like, why are you so upset? Basically, oh, you all in my business. You so worried about what I do. And I'm like, I just asked the question, brother. Okay, you ain't got to take my head off. So when I sent the message back, I said, you know what? I'm not in your business, and is for the best interest of our children. I said, you absolutely right. But the reason I say he was absolutely right, because it is. From his point of view, he feels that he's right. Okay? And we all have our perspectives and our point of view. So from his point of view, he feels like he's right. From my point of view, I feel like he is absolutely wrong. Okay? So after the conversation, and he wrote the text messages after I said, oh, have a phenomenal day. You deserve it. All this other stuff, right? Sometimes when people see that certain things they may try to say or throw at you, it don't affect you. Sometimes they keep on going because misery loves company, friend. Okay, that's why misery loves company. So after that message, a few days later, I'm trying to see, he sends me a message and says, do I want company? Right? And I looked at the message and I said, this boy has to be out of his goddamn mind, right? And sometimes we may accept it, like they speaking to me nice now, but they could have did that in the first place, friend. They could have did that in the first place. And then I also remember, same as that person, okay, went off the handle and then said, oh, would you like to go on vacation with me and the children? And at first I was like, oh yeah, that would be a good opportunity. My children heard him in the background, on a speaker, and they was like, yeah, right. And they was excited. And at first I was like, oh, that would be good. That would be good for my content. That would be good, for me to record, make videos and stuff during the vacation and all these different things. And then At first I said yeah. And afterwards, I had an awakening. Tina, why would you go on a vacation with someone? You see the way at times he speak to you. Why go? Don't you understand you finna be monetized? And you could go on your own goddamn vacation. In fact, it ain't even got to worry about no stress while you on it. So I started thinking about that. And I sent him a message and I said, you know what? No, I'm not going. I'm not going. Just because they have brought you roses or decided to treat you a little better because of the way they previously treated you, that do not give them a pass. That do not make it okay. That does not mean that you have to accept it. And I would talk about boundaries a lot, right? Like having boundaries and, like, oh yeah, boundaries. But people are going to show you whether you have boundaries or not. And the way they're going to show you is how they play a role in your life. And if that role that they playing, if you do not like that role, then you always have to look in the mirror and say, what have I allowed? What have I accepted? Why do I feel, that someone could speak to me a certain type of way? Whether it's children, your children, whether it's relationships, intimate relationships, whether it's your parents, whether it's strangers out on the street. You have to ask yourself, why? And so to the person that's out there that may feel, but they brought me roses. I know they cheated, but he brought me roses and said he was sorry. I know she flattened my tires, but she brought me a new pair of tires. That does not excuse the behavior. Okay? It does not excuse the behavior, because if she could have brought you new tires, honey, she ain't have to flatten the ones you had. Okay? And it's really something for us to look at. And as I talk to you guys, I'm talking to myself. And with that being said, I love you guys. I catch you guys on the next one. Keep rocking out. Keep believing in yourselves. Until next time. Peace.